Berd air just turned on. All the noise is air. Pretty silent when she closes the door. Pump is mounted here. It's in a drop mount. That's what keeps it quiet. Actually, it has a little piece on, I can't lift it out because I have a little piece on the back that keeps the, oh, actually here. One thing with your Berd air is you should order 6mm tube to replace the thin stuff. I run the 6mm till it gets in here, then I use the stock tube. I only go to the small, very, very close to the front. Also, I don't bother using this because we have 2 amp outputs. This is only 24 volts, only a 1 amp pump. I'm honestly could run 2 of them with it, but there's no reason to, because if you remove the flux ring, I don't know why someone that's such a smart guy that came up with the Berd air cooling doesn't do that. But if you remove this flux ring, you gain about, it sounded like I gained like 700-800 RPM, and the flow literally almost doubles. And a flux ring is to increase torque, which if you have a lot of resistance or a heavy load, increasing torque will increase RPM, but in this case it actually reduces the RPM a decent amount when you put the flux ring on. We're not worried about EMI, but you do want to make sure you don't run that cable that's powering it, which, by the way, all you have to do, this is very not ideal right now, it's only 1 amp load, so I don't care, but I took the stock cable out of the cable chain and I'm running it through the splitter right now. I'm gonna fix that, make that way better, because it's kind of really ghetto, but whatever. I might try to figure out something better, or I might just get like a braided sheath, like a wire loom, and wrap that around. But some people have put a hole in the center. That really is the smarter way to do this. But even in the center, it's still a problem if you print very tall objects. I'm gonna see what Jesse Pruitt does, because he prints the giant dinosaurs. But anyway, the Berd air is pretty much working really good, and also removing the flux ring should keep it a lot cooler. I haven't had any issues with the heat. The other thing is, make sure you if you put like a 6 to 12 inch piece of tube on the intake for the back, it makes the pump way, way quieter. That's honestly why my pump is so quiet compared to all the other videos that you watch. Without that on, the pump is really noisy. There's no reason to print any of those mufflers or any of that fancy shit. Just put an intake tube on it and you're done. You could mount it inside here and put an intake tube on too, but everyone had me worried about heat, so I didn't want to do that. But my pump has not even gotten hot to touch, so I don't know why I'm having such better results. Maybe it's because I'm running higher PWM and not using that board, because you can't run higher than 20 on PWM, so literally you're running 50 milliseconds because this board can't switch any faster than that. So otherwise people complain that they can't turn the pump off. But I can run down to, I have it set to turn on at 30%. That's the, if I go lower than that, it sounds squeaky. It still works down to like 20 or 22, I think is around what. Turns on somewhere between like 19 or 22, 23 when I tested it, but it wasn't consistent, so I have it set for a minimum speed of 30, this way it doesn't sound squeaky and annoying. And I'm actually getting more airflow out of this than I was out of a single 5L15 when I put a cup of water below it, probably just because it's so much more directed, and I'm only running single. I don't think there's a reason to run the dual nozzles, but I may end up putting the dual nozzle on, I don't know. I'm gonna decide. I am gonna make a new ring with the jig because he does a really crappy job with the where is it? I had the other ring. Oh, here it is. If you look, get this thing to focus. Those holes are not very lined up very well, and it seems like all of them, because I have 3 of them, are the same thing. This first hole is off. His jig must be messed up, or he bends that too tight. So I don't like that. That hole's either we gotta put a twist on it, or just honestly, it might be better off just blocking that one hole. It's no good. Could probably crush the Berd air on the inside and have that turn in, since it's the last one anyway. You know, it is long enough that if you cut off, that's why I left this full length. I'm planning on cutting it off and making another loop just with the other half of it. So, I already printed a jig, which you can get it on Thingiverse. It's pretty basic. That fits in. The tube goes in through here. You start wrapping it around. If anyone vapes, it's almost like a coil jig. That screws in there. And then the drilling jigs. There's small 1mm holes, but you're supposed to use a 1mm. Doesn't want to focus. Oh, there we go. You're supposed to use a 1mm bit. So there's 45-degree angle ones and there's straight ones. I'm gonna try a 45-degree angle one, and I'll test it and I'll let you guys know. I'm thinking I'm actually gonna make my own version of this jig. That I might try to make the holes angle slightly to the side too, so it comes out almost like a vortex. This way, if it's aimed in at a 45 and it's rotating a little bit, it should work out better. I'm gonna try to do a CFD analysis, see if I can figure that out. I'm gonna be posting the specs for this, and also I left the 300 completely stock so that I can do a video start to finish of the install, and I'll be showing everyone. I'll just set up this camera and do it from start to finish in one sitting. It'll probably take me, I'm hoping, about 45 minutes to do everything. Yeah, this is 23 on the outside. But 12. So its inside is 20 by 10, I'm sure. So if you order a 20 by 10 IGUS chain, that should be fine. You can go possibly to 15, because this can actually bend a lot more, but we just don't want it to, because you want the wires to be a nice smooth arc like it is. Jake Allen made a fully parametric version of the Panzer chain, so we can adjust that to any size we want. So that's the STL we're going to be posting, and then this, just reuse the stock ones, pull some out of the Z. It's actually funny, my 400 is shorter than my 300. I can't believe how much brighter having this extra light in the front makes this printer inside. This is insane. I used to never be able to get videos of the inside. But yeah, as you can see, the Berd air is doing an amazing job cooling, and it's only at 60% right now. Let's see what happens if we turn up the speed a little. Right now we're at 120 or 150 millimeters a second. So, yeah. Oh, so now we're at 200. And this is at, I think, 4000 XL right now for parameters. Doesn't really seem like it's going that much faster. I guess it's because of all the curves. What the hell? Let's see what happens. I'll go to 300. I guess curves don't really. And the jerk is set to, I think, 8 millimeters a second for, well, 8 millimeters a second for square corner velocity, which is equivalent probably to more like around 32 or something like that. Let's see what speed I'm actually printing at. No, it's at 120, 60 for outer, so that should, let me set the speed on here, maybe the speed wasn't registering. Okay, speed set to 200, that's definitely setting it. Okay, yeah, that's working. Actually, the camera can't even pick it up because it's spinning around too fast. It's just too small of an object. It's not. There's no way that's hitting that. I'm not delusional like these other guys. It's probably slowing down the layers because the layers are going too fast. That's exactly what it is. Okay. Oops. Oh, just for the hell of it. Oh, what the hell am I doing? There we go. Let's do it that way. Okay. Let's turn the fan all the way up so you guys can hear it at full. At full it is. It's still not bad. And I might mount it inside to make it even quieter. The crazy part is though, there's really not much of a difference between like 80% to 100%, so there's no reason to even make it get loud. Honestly, the 60% is more than, unless you're printing just purely PLA and just run dual nozzles then. I think that was it.